Ends here, hatchling.
We will win this.
Violence of themselves. Whatever strength, hatchling.
That may be, but I am not alone.
How pathetic. Annihilation. The fires of the thousand suns. Incineration. Surprises.
To challenge me for the realm. Private show. Grip of the infinite. Another challenger. Another challenger. Avail safety and security.
Torturing you. You cannot escape Behdad's gaze. Behdad, take my flesh. You will not pain. Beckons just round the door.
Yo, Little Crab here. Today I wanted to show you my Relic of the Pact Blood Mage build, which is only really functioning because of the current League mechanic passive trees. So now's the time to try it. The way Relic of the Pact works is it gives us Blood Sacrament, a skill that reserves life to do damage. The more life we reserve, the more damage it does, and the bigger the AoE. The way it normally works is it slowly reserves your life pool as you channel it. You want to get that down to a single tick. Okay, we do that with 2 essence worms, which reduce the reservation efficiency of it, and sanguimancy from the League mechanic passive trees, and then a single 2% increased reservation efficiency of skills. You can get it on an Abyss Jewel. This version is a little more frustrating because it reserves 91% of your life, which is much easier to get hit in that window where you have no life and die. So what I've been preferring is having it on one of our corrupted magic jewels, which are all increased because we're using the adorned. The adorned increases the effect of corrupted magic jewels. So we stack a bunch of these with percent increased max life and global crit strike multiplier. You can get a cobalt jewel. You can roll increased critical strike multiplier with spells, which can go higher. It can go up to 15%. That would be the next step if you push it a little further. Also grabbing 7% increased max life. But this is a cheap version. We're doing it cheap. We're still at 100 million DPS. You don't need that. But if you get this 2% increased reservation efficiency skills on it, it's also increased. So this version, oops, only reserves 72%, and we still do, instead of 108 million DPS, we do, check the POB, we do 89 million. I mean, if you're gonna be the POB warrior, sure, do the 91% res. You get more damage. 89 million still kills everything. I've gone into Ubers and done them without knowing the mechanics. Just walked in and killed stuff before it mattered. You don't need more DPS than this. You can go much higher. You can get to 200, 300 million. I'm not there. I don't feel like I need to push the build to get there. The other mechanics we are using are the new amulet, the Untouched Soul, which you get increased max life for each empty red socket. This build does not use many sockets. We've got tons of open sockets to start with. So might as well turn them all red and get a bunch of extra life. We take this off, we go down to 19,000. With it on, we go up to 25,000. Why do we care about increased max life? Because we're using Wrathpith Globe. We gain a 5% increased critical strike chance for spells per 100 maximum life, and increased spell damage per 100 max life. We are stacking life, and then we are reserving life. This build, a lot of the things go hand in hand. It feels like this is the league to do it because of this passive tree, which really helps. Like the Crimson Power removes all energy shield, but you gain max life instead of energy shield from equipped items. So we can go for big energy shield, helmet, chest, and boots, and this really ups our life pool, thus increasing our damage, our crit strike chance. Okay, so we're critting. What do we do with that? We use Entropic Devastation, which critical strikes with spells inflict Impale. This effectively doubles our damage. We get so much extra damage from impaling. The first hit we do impales, the second hit then does the damage of the impale, and at that point everything's dead. This build is relatively simple to get online. The Adorned isn't too expensive. If you're buying a higher roll of it, it can get more spendy. But you can do the low end stuff and slowly scale it up. I mean, you could do it without the Adorned and do one of the other versions of just stacking. I mean, you could even do it without the Adorned and just stack in a % increased max life jewels. You'd still get to like 18, 20,000 life, which is gonna be like 40 million DPS. This build gets online early and it scales really, really well. Basically every point I'm grabbing now is giving me 2 to 3 million more DPS. I don't need that. Everything dies instantly. But if you want to be the POB warrior, why not? There will be the POB in the description. Make sure to look at that. Remember, it's not for mapping. This is not a mapping build. You're not going to juice a map and clear the map. As soon as you get hit and you reserve some of that life, because we're using Dissolution of the Flesh. Don't remember if I mentioned that. Yeah, we're using Dissolution of the Flesh. This is a huge help to prevent you from being killed in that little window. And it's really nice to like tank Shaper Beams, and it helps with degens. You just have to leave combat for 2 seconds and then it all comes back. We also pair this with Eternal Youth, which energy shield recharge instead applies to life. If you get hit 2 or 3 times, you reserve your life pool and then you can't cast. So in maps, when you're getting constantly like hit from off screen, things with shooting spark all over the ground or pre-casting shit, super annoying because you will have to just run away and stand there. As soon as you hit a Soul Eater with haste on it and he's teleporting to you, he's gonna hit you just 1 or 2 times before you can cast, and that's enough to make it so you can't cast because it reserved your life pool, which is why I prefer doing this 72% reservation. We have more room to work with. We can get hit about a quarter of our life without it mattering. We can still cast, we can still kill the things, where if you do the other version, you get hit once, you can't cast. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Basically using a couple of the new things. Relic of the Pact, I think it's only 2 divines still. This build to get online is probably 10 to 20 divines. I've got maybe 30 in it. rolling the gear is pretty simple. You just spam Essence of Woe on it. I mean, I don't even have movement speed on my boots. I don't need it because we have flasks up at all times because we're using Pathfinder Ascendancy. This build is dope. This is the league to check it out. Don't miss out on it while we still have these league mechanic ascendancies. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.